There seems to be no clear or exact idea of just how much it will cost the taxpayer and by extension the exchequer to run the government under the new dispensation. The Justice Ministry recently estimated it will take about 7 billion shillings to make the first changes to institutions and laws, but had no estimates for day-to-day costs. In a developing nation with a myriad of challenges ranging from poor infrastructure to insecurity and lack of basic amenities, and with half the population living in poverty, there ought to be many questions begging about the cost.
Remember, our politics has held the economy because we've been politicking too much for the last 20 years as we were looking for the constitution.
She says Kenya is a small economy and therefore there should be no overspending in the public sectors, as this is likely to take away tremendous economic gains.
When the new baby is born, God brings with it the wherewithal. I've noticed parents produce a new baby, they didn't even have diapers and nappies, they come forth.
The argument is policy is unfunded, hence you ought to make the law before sourcing for funds to implement it.
The director Kituo cha Sheria, Priscilla Nyokabi, believes that Kenya does not suffer from lack of resources or money to finance the new constitution, its implementation process and the eventual budget going forward, but instead issues of governance where we have misuse of money and cases of corruption widespread in all public sectors. And so we are asking, does this mean that going forward we'll not have to dig deeper into our pockets as the taxpayers?
We have a workforce, an unemployed workforce, a business workforce. And so the collection of taxes, and we see a whole chapter on revenue collection and public finance in the new constitution. We've got to widen the tax bracket. We've got to widen the number of people who are paying tax in this country.
With this new constitution, there will be improved governance. And with that, we should expect increased tax collection.
Mushiri, who is an investment banker, moved to allay fears about the burden of implementing the new constitution being shouldered by the Mwananchi, saying, despite the enormous task of anchoring the new constitutional order ahead, resource mobilization will eventually be made easier if all players will stick to their guns and propel the entire nation into the Second Republic. It is dusk, marking the end of not only this day, but also the close of a chapter, an era any reformist would want to wish away anytime. As the country now looks forward into the future full of expectations of a new beginning, the country's rebirth. Zawadi, Mudibo, KTN, Nairobi.